Been a couple of games, but have you seen a more focused team since that Belleville game?
I think they've been playing them a little more solid game, both offensively and defensively. They're having better at bats, more consistent at bats. And I go back to the Jerseyville game where you're facing Kanalikin, and yes, as I said, he did get the strikeouts, 10 strikeouts, whatever it was, but he had to work for the strikeouts. It wasn't 3 pitches and out, and we hit the ball pretty well there. Unfortunately, we don't play for almost a week, and then we come back and we play last night, and we're playing tonight. No game tomorrow, and then we're going to play League 18 on Sunday. And so I think the kids are a little more focused, and we keep talking a little bit more about the playoffs and doing things the right way and what it takes to advance and never to give up because it's a 9-inning game. So
and this one is a 9-1 win against a pretty solid team.
I was going to say the first 3 or 4 pitchers they threw out there, they're left-handed pitchers, had us off balance. We don't see, unfortunately, we don't see a lot of left-handers until you get probably out of our league. But they had it and were throwing strikes, and their kids were making plays. I mean, the first guy, it started off, Cimarelli hits one to the track out in a line drive out to right center, and their guy makes a running catch there. We got bases loaded 2 or 3 times, and we hit balls into the outfield that their guys catch, whether it was a line drive right at them or a fly ball into the gap. They made the plays. It's a solid team. They were a little overmatched with, looked like at the plate. Our guys were throwing pretty well. Brandon's really come along as the season has progressed into a much more complete pitcher. He's worked hard on his breaking pitches. Then we bring in Collie, and he throws strikes. I mean, he threw 10 pitches in 2 innings. And then Jake hasn't thrown in a couple weeks, so he's out there working. And I know we probably could have just thrown fastballs the whole time, but we're working, trying to get his breaking pitch and so forth too, and that kind of put him behind in some counts. But hey, we'll take the 9-1 win, and the kids played solid. We got some good at bats. I told Hansel, I said, I know you're probably more enthused about the ball that was hitting into the gap, but I was more enthused about the ball that he went the opposite way with, where he kept his shoulder and his head in and drove the ball the other way, because that's what it's going to take to win in the playoffs. Told Drake the same thing. It was good to see you going the opposite way to get a hit to drive the runs in too.
So, seems like times that Stephen Patton does something offensively, it's almost kind of a. I'm not saying it's one guy, but it seems like the times that he's been able to get on base and get some hits, it's kind of been one of those cliche contagious with everybody else.
I can't tell you why that is, but Stephen came up with a couple of big hits today for us to drive in some runs, and he got on base a couple different times. Does a great job for us behind the plate. So whatever we get offensively is just a bonus. But he makes contact with the ball, and if he doesn't try to do too much, that's what you're going to see. Line drives between the shortstop and the second base area. That's his forte as far as hitting.